let's talk about passwords. What are the most important passwords on your devices? Your most important password is your Apple ID or your Apple account password. That's where really what gets into all of your information. I would say your second most important password is the password you use to get into your device. And mainly I'm talking about the login password when you start up your computer. Those are passwords you really, 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 really need to know. Now, if you have other passwords for logins, if you want to do something like this, you're going to need a way to effectively and securely store your passwords. Only marginally better than putting stickies all over your monitor is writing them all in a notebook. Somebody can still get access to that. So what I've used for many, many years is a password manager. I use one called 1Password. Apple just introduced one of their own called Passwords. So this can be very confusing because there's 1Password and there's passwords. They are two different things with very similar names. Okay. So, but I'm gonna show you 1Password and passwords. Here is what 1Password looks like when you open it up. Here is what passwords looks like when you open it up. I'm going to put them both together on the same screen. Okay. Now, 1Password, like its name says, stores all of your login passwords in its program, and it gives you the opportunity to have one password that ultimately probably becomes the most important password that you have to get access to all your other passwords. If you are using passwords from Apple, that 1Password to get into your passwords app is the same password you use to log into your computer. Okay, so that's one little convenience of passwords over 1Password. But once you're in to your system and or into 1Password and you've logged in, you can have it read your fingerprint from your Touch ID to get in, so you don't have to enter that password every time. Here's 1Password. Click on the fingerprint. It shows this, and there is 1Password. It's pretty simple to save a password in either of these. When you install 1Password, you can add extensions to your browser. So if you're in your browser and you're in a login screen and you're making a new login, 1Password for Safari is going to say, hey, this is a new login. Do you want to save it in 1Password? Very convenient. You can do the same thing in passwords. Also, if you are logging in to or making a new account on a website and it gives you the option to log in with Facebook, log in with Google, or log in with Apple, if you choose login with Apple, you can log in using your Apple ID and afterwards your Touch ID. And if you do that, it will automatically save that login into Apple passwords. So that's why I have these populating in my Apple passwords, because I really never use it, but these are the logins that I've made using login with Apple. But I have so many other logins, and this isn't even all of them.
I think if you click on the sorting thing, it'll tell you, but also there's 29 in your logins alone. But
But that's in my shared vault. There are 375 and that's all categories. So let's see, logins, 198 in my private.
What does private versus shared mean?
Well, I have my list of logins, but there's some of my logins I want to share with my family, my son and my wife. And so I've put those logins in my shared vault, and I've shared that vault with my wife and my son. So private is just mine, and shared is logins that I share with my family.
Thanks.
What I want to close with is there are logging in with passwords, but we can take it a step further. One way to take it a step further is something called two-factor authentication. And if I go into my 1Password, there's a thing here called Watchtower. And what Watchtower will let me know what of my passwords are vulnerable, how many have been reused over accounts, because you really don't want to have the same password logging into everything. It tells me how many weak passwords I have. It gauges how strong that password. But these last two are how many things that I have pass keys available or have two-factor authentication available that I haven't set up yet. Two-factor authentication, a lot of times you'll just give a website your cell phone number, and they will send you a code by text as a method of two-factor authentication. And while that's good, it's better than not having it. It's still a little less secure because your SMS can be intercepted. But what takes that a step further is you could use an authenticator. And there are hardware authenticators. There's a little key that you can plug into a USB port. But that doesn't work for me because I have so many devices and I'm in many different locations. It's going to take 2 days and I'm not going to have it when I need to log into something. But there are software authenticators. Google has one. I think Microsoft has one. There's a third-party one called Authy. There are a bunch of them out there. But 1Password, and I believe Apple Passwords, also can act as an authenticator. And I'm just going to go quickly to one login I have. It's not there, it's there, where I've set up two-factor authentication. When you set up two-factor authentication, there's a one-time code that exists, but as you can see, it counts down and it changes every 20 seconds.
30 seconds.
Well, some of them
for different websites.
It's different for different websites. Some of them are 20. So if I go to Newegg, and I'm trying to go fast so I can't type. There it is.
Right.
There's Newegg. If I sign in, if I unlock 1Password, which is already unlocked, so it's going to say, and I say Newegg, goes to the password, fills it in, and a lot of websites, not all of them do this, a lot of websites will take that 6-digit code and just fill it in automatically and log me in. So all I had to do is click 1Password once, and it filled in my login, went to the next screen, filled in my password, went to the next screen, filled in my code, and I'm in. One last thing, if you get to Zoom and you get to the login screen, it won't fill it in automatically, and if you copy and paste it, it'll only paste the first digit, so you have to type it in yourself. So different websites are different. The last thing is passkeys, which are even more secure than two-factor authentication. And we need to move on, so I'll just go and see. I've set up one for Best Buy. And I'm just going to show you how this works in practice, because I have a series of slides to go how it's set up, but I don't have time. If I go to my account and I go to sign in, and I get to my screen, 1Password knows I have a passkey for this website, and it asks me if I want to sign in with a passkey. Now I'm in. So,
we should have a class on. We should have a class on.
yeah,
passkeys,
we
so
should
we
have a
explain
class
all
on
those.
this. 10 minutes is not enough to get through this topic.